Wait, why is it still in the package?
There's no way. There's no way she doesn't know. How is that possible that she would just do that? Hi.
Hello!
Welcome back.
To another episode of Pineapple and Lemon.
We're back.
Woohoo!
Hello. We've got a fun movie up for today.
What do we got? What do we got?
A movie that is nominated at the Oscars this year.
Ooh.
We're watching an animated movie, Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse.
Across, through, around.
Into, across, and beyond.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
So I have seen this movie. I watched it when it was in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe you also have seen this movie.
Fairly recently, probably like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months ago we watched it.
Mm-hmm. When the first Spider-Verse movie came out, it was a pretty big splash.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were super into it. Art style, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun visuals, really fun storytelling. So when the second one came out, there was a lot of pressure on it because it's hard to live up to a movie like the first one. And this one came out and some people think it's even better. Do you have any sort of feelings towards Spider-Man as a character or towards like Miles Morales or any of that this kind of new version of Spider-Man?
Well, if we're doing it like Doctor Who, I'd have to say my Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting to do it as the animation, and I didn't really know anything about Miles Morales like going into it, so I was interested for the story, but I really liked the graphics that they did for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very colorful and it's very fun.
Yeah.
And that's what really like got my attention for it.
I mean, I've also seen all the live action Spider-Mans. I know there's a bunch of them now.
There's a lot of them now. Oh my goodness.
But I've also read a few Miles Morales comics, and then I read a lot of the Spider-Gwen comics. I really liked that character. I really liked her story, and I wanted to know more about them. So I've been trying to read more of the comics around kind of the spider people in this universe. Obviously, I love animation. I'm a big fan of this art style because it's so well done. It's so creative. I love that they're essentially creating this new kind of wave of art where it's not just 3D, it's a little bit of 2D and 3D and a bunch of different things all together.
The biggest thing that I remember of this is just all the memes that come into play, and that was quite rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah, talk about memes, talk about Easter eggs. This movie's packed with them.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. It's definitely one that I feel like if you are really into Spider-Man, you have to watch it multiple times because your first go around is just kind of like an overwhelming sensation of like, where do I look?
Yes.
So you definitely have to keep like watch it a couple more times to kind of like thoroughly like get everything that's jam-packed into it.
Well, I would definitely recommend watching the first one before you watch this one.
Please watch the first one.
It'll definitely fill you in, but if you don't know anything about this one, I got the IMDb for you. So Miles Morales catapults across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. When the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles must redefine what it means to be a hero. I think we should put maybe a little bit of a flashing lights warning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to not include a lot of that, but just in case, there's a lot of quick moving, flashy visuals.
There is, and just even with the color.
We're going to talk about it. Everyone has their own kind of little art style here. So this is Gwen's. It's more like watercolors, a lot of pastels. I love all of her colors and the way her story is told. I like her universe a lot.
You think you know the rest?
I love that they give like a recap too, because I totally forgot what happened to the first one by the time I got to this.
I rewatched the first one before. I saw this one in theaters and I'm happy I did it. Especially once the third one comes out, it's going to be a complete trilogy story, and I think watching them all back to back to back will be really cool.
How are you? I'm great. Thanks. Whoa. How are you?
You ever pulled that before? I'm great.
Thanks. Get out of here.
I play drums.
In case you guys are wondering.
Yeah.
Just gonna slide my name forward there.
Very young Neil of you.
There was Peter.
I think you look great. I don't know.
The Peter in this universe is so sad.
I know.
They did a bunch of one-offs of different spider people in the comics, and then they followed through with that and went with the Spider-Gwen comics. So her first one is explaining like what happened to Peter.
I mean, in a way, like all the stories are very similar.
It's like parallels.
Yeah.
Don't go.
I know it's part of the initial design for Spider-Man costumes, but the way they make the eyes emote in this movie is so well done. I don't know why it works so well.
It looks really good.
He was my daughter's best friend.
But even them just deciding like her hair is blue in this shot, but it still reads that it's Gwen. Like it's such good use of color, but you still totally understand what's going on. Like it's not confusing ever.
I like the ballet slippers.
It's such a fun aesthetic choice for her character.
She's very elegant, and I'm so here for it.
Well, the fluid movements that Gwen has, especially though, it just makes you want to be like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Right?
You're not my vulture. What are you, made of parchment?
Because she can see that he's parchment. So then does she know her world is like pastel versus Miles's?
Yeah, I think so. Superman, is that you?
Superheroes wearing capes.
No capes.
Edna Mode says, no thank you.
Call for backup.
What?
Call for backup.
Come on.
What if your phone gave you a hard time every time you tried to do anything?
My phone did?
Yeah.
I mean, it already does.
Crashes on you.
Oh my gosh, my phone's battery, without fail, every single phone that I get, the battery's just garbage.
To be able to do all the flips and stuff with a motorcycle?
With a motorcycle.
Are you kidding me?
And she's pregnant.
So talented.
So talented.
Just having to plot this out on like a storyboard, just hats off to people who are able to do this.
Right? It's a lot of work. Why wouldn't people move?
Start running now.
Let me just stand here. Or poke it, maybe?
Let's just look at her background right now and the colors, and then his background and the color. Like, it's so cool. Like, they're just making these choices to enhance the feeling of the character.
It really like helps convey like the emotions too, right? Like their inner monologues.
Because it's not like it's changing as we go back and forth, back and forth. And now we have the title drop.
42.
42, that's the big number.
always
Life,
the
the
big
universe,
number.
and everything.
The spot.
Oh, man. He's got the charisma. He's got it all.
I love this guy so much.
It's such a fun character design.
Right? Not the pineapples.
Oh, geez, where are the lemons?
What a crime.
I was bitten by a radioactive spider.
That's a cute spider.
I was going to say, I mean, if I were to encounter a spider,
If it was that cute.
if it was that cute, I wouldn't have an issue and I wouldn't torch the building. Oh, he's got a crush.
I always wonder, because you know in cartoons, if they're drawing somebody as a cartoon, does it look photorealistic to them? Are they like a very impressive artist, or are they just like drawing a cartoon?
You're making my brain hurt. The movie's already making my brain hurt. There's like so much happening. Now you're making me think about like existential questions.
Hey, I always think about it. So
Ah.
I have no idea who this kid is. I don't know if he knows.
are you supposed to know at that age?
Right?
Do you know at any age?
No.
We can still salvage this.
I'm sorry, salvage?
I do think like the grading system in the States, isn't it like really, really hard to get into colleges unless you have like perfect grades essentially?
You definitely need to know going into high school what you want to do. And you have to stay on that path.
It's a lot.
And it's highly competitive.
Yeah.
Like if they have to write their SATs and
Yeah, we don't do that.
we don't do that. And you have to get a certain grade in order to be considered for schools. And even when you do your college applications, you have to like interview extracurriculars, volunteers, references. It's a lot.
My kid goes here, man!
Do you really want to advertise that to a villain? My kid goes to this school.
Yeah, that's not the best thing you want to tell someone.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Could I call you back?
Can I call you back?
Could this
Can
wait?
till dinner?
You hit me with a bagel.
A one-off little joke from the first movie, and they turned it into this character.
I lost my job, my life, my face.
I lost my face. I mean, that is pretty awful. But they make him such a goofy guy that the tragic backstory, you know.
He doesn't really feel like he's like an evil villain.
I think that's part of it, though, is that it's supposed to ramp up as it goes on.
It'd be great if he kicked the pylon, but then he went and put it back up.
He's like, I had to do my job. Gotta serve and protect.
How's he doing? You think he's gonna figure it all out?
I'm not talking about me, of course.
Your son. Not me, but your son.
Yes.
Who's just like me. Found it. Don't leave me hanging.
How can you say no to Spider-Man?
My holes can take me anywhere.
That's a loaded
Take
sentence.
that out of context.
Little Venom universe.
It makes sense now that I have seen Venom.
Now you're in on the joke.
I'm in on the joke.
There's one thing from Venom.
Oh no.
Tomorrow morning, Spider-Man.
So I don't know, you heard about that they got an actual kid to animate this sequence?
Did they really?
There was a kid that made a Lego trailer based off the Spider-Verse trailer. And they were like, hey, can you make a sequence for the movie for us? And the kid was like, what?
Oh my, that's so awesome. I love it when people do that. Oh, the food looks so good.
Animated food just hits well. Because they make it look
Studio
perfect.
Ghibli food.
Well, that's on another
That's
level.
another scale.
I just wanted to know what his plan was. He was just going to take out a train?
I am the armadillo. I like that his voice was so high pitched. It was just like a Mario character.
Yahoo!
It's me, it's Mario. Meanwhile, the cakes take a ride.
You have to get the cakes, Miles.
How do the cakes stay on the hood of the car?
Well, physics.
Physics? I
The
would like to
physics
know.
in Miles's universe
True.
means
Okay.
cakes can stay on top of cars.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
It was like giving birth.
No, it wasn't.
Of course not.
Well,
No, it wasn't.
I don't know about that
Check yourself.
comparison.
To be in.
All right, whatever.
Try it again. Try it again.
Not good, not good.
Because now you got 2 months.
Because here's the thing, like, we know he's lying for a good purpose. So we understand from his perspective, but also from his parents' perspective. He could just be out doing who knows what. But they're adding this layered complexity to a character in an animated Spider-Man movie. Like, they didn't have to do all of this into an already, like, jam-packed movie, and it just creates so much more to the story, and it makes them feel more actualized as characters.
Wait, why is it still in the package?
There's no way. There's no way she doesn't know. How is that possible that she would just do that?
He lets me crash in his dimension sometimes.
What does that mean? You stay overnight or?
What does that mean? You like crash over there? Are you guys like hanging out or like?
guys a thing?
Is it like?
guys
Not that I care.
Don't do that.
That kid could get so many.
Ugh, it's
germs.
disgusting. If they only knew, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's better for them to not know.
Honestly. A Greek burger place?
Is
I
it?
would try that.
Yeah, like
That sounds good.
that'd probably be pretty good.
I'm down.
We could probably make a burger with Greek ingredients or toppings that are Greek inspired.
Something the blood rush to their brain.
That's the question. Do spiders get head rushes?
I'd be like, my head.
Hello. Hi.
Me as a parent. Hi, I'm here.
Oh, good to meet
Pay
you.
attention to me.
I can hear you being quiet, Mom.
I can hear you being quiet. What is that like that you can sense silence? You know how sometimes silence is comfortable and sometimes it's not?
Because it's like some silences are fine. Like, you know, like if you and I are just like caught up on everything and then we just sit in silence for a couple minutes, we're like, yeah, this is fine.
But then other times there's certain people and you're like, oh dear God. It's
Like,
been
this
silent.
is so awkward. What, do I talk about the weather?
Always go to the weather.
Always go to the weather. Let's go. So the weather today, huh? Right? That was crazy.
And then the other person's like, I haven't been outside all day. And you're like, no.
no.
And he never lets anyone tell him that he doesn't belong there.
And this speech is like the whole crux of the rest of the movie. This is the anchor right here.
Watching for the first time, you really just think that it's just like a mom to son speech, like blah, blah, blah. Like, come on, it's dragging out. Let's get on. Let's move on with it. But you're right. It's this very important moment between the two of them.
And it informs a lot of Miles's decisions moving forward.
Bendición, mami.
Art alone, this movie would be great. But they really were like, we're going to give you some good character work with this too.
Definitely a lot of character work, especially for like an animated film. But with this, it's like every aspect that goes into the film is well done and thought through.
And that's why animation's a medium, not a genre. You can tell any story you want. Some people don't give animation a chance, and they really should.
Everything's good. Bye.
Most nonchalant way to exit a call.
Bye.
Everything's so good. Okay, bye.
Everything's wait, bye.
No time to look brooding. You need to make a decision right now.
Split second decision. You don't know how long the portal's gonna stay open for.
New Spider-Man approaches.
Woohoo!
This is where the traffic is. This is where the traffic is. This is also where the traffic is.
Jabs.
It seems pretty close to our world.
Right? No resemblance at all.
No.
Hey, does he know about Hobie? Oh, looks like he did not know.
He did not know be about Hobie.
How long does this usually take? Just give me a second.
Do you have like a timeline here? Let me know how long.
We're kind of on a time crunch here, you know.
Here comes Hobie.
So fun.
The punk rock poster edit.
Right?
Great choice. Dude, I think you're unraveling at the seams a bit here.
Just a wee bit.
You're really getting distorted in your art style.
Markers are predicting an incoming cannon event, so tread carefully.
Do you think you've ever had a canon event? Something that had to happen?
I don't know. I would have to think about it.
Do you ever go into the spiral of like, what if I made this different decision and this would have changed everything?
Yes.
Are we getting too existential for
This is a very existential.
for Spider-Man tonight?
Oh my gosh.
You're amazing.
You're an amazing Spider-Man?
One and only.
Only one? Wait a second.
Wait a second.
Yo, this place is wild.
This is the point of the movie where you become overblown by just sheer visual information.
It's a lot happening.
You could pause and go frame by frame through all
You
of this.
really almost need to if you want to catch everything.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Spider Society.
There's just
boy.
so my mind, I was just like, I can't even comprehend. There were so many of them.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
A prowler?
Prowler?
Not your prowler.
Did you understand what was going on with this?
No.
Miles Morales' original inspiration, like the character, was Donald Glover.
Yeah.
And for a long time, everyone wanted Donald Glover to play him in a movie.
Yeah.
He did age out of it. And in the Tom Holland movies, his character who plays potentially the Prowler, he mentions he might have a nephew, Miles.
Oh.
So there has been slight talk in the MCU that he would be like a Prowler. And this is the first instance of them being like, yeah, we'll throw him in there.
Yeah. That's cool though.
Just don't enlist till you know what war you're fighting.
They could have made Hobie like more antagonistic to play up the like Miles versus Hobie thing, but they don't. They just make him cool and like a very like to the fact kind of person, but showing Miles that there are other ways to be a Spider-Man.
He had a terrible teacher.
I was the terrible teacher.
Because I have returned.
This is all of us.
Isn't this what this new Madam Web movie is about?
I didn't watch it. I don't know. I didn't hear good things about it.
No, it's apparently terrible.
All the good we did,
You mean the Tobey Maguire? There he is.
They gotta show off
All his glory.
as many as they can.
And stop Spider-Man.
They're like, we couldn't just do it once. We had to do it with all of them.
Look, if there's a meme you gotta do.
You got to do them all.
Just so many. How would he ever get out of this?
Oh my gosh.
So many things. Ooh.
Rude.
We could add that to our Greek burger lineup. Have a spider burger. Maybe we gotta workshop that name.
We do. Not made out of spiders.
No.
Let me guess. He died?
All the spider people have the same trauma issues in their
Right?
therapy.
That poor therapist.
What about the therapist? Who does he talk to?
I know. Mirror?
And the car just sent them over.
That's what kills me. Why the car?
Just give the baby one squeeze and then we'll talk because I think it's going to change our bond.
Every new parent.
Just hold the baby. Hold the baby.
And that got me excited because you are a wonderful person.
You're so cool. I'm very excited to be around you right now. Just go into the fiery lava pit of destruction.
Pretty much.
He doesn't know where he's gonna end up. Some of these people gotta work on their spider senses.
Honestly. They all should have been able to get through.
Not my wristband.
My guest pass.
How will I get back into the concert venue?
No. This is why we do stamps.
Yeah, I feel like usually they were just like smiley faces, but then the ink would smudge and then it would just look terrifying.
Right?
You're the original anomaly!
I mean, that's kind of sick, though. That's pretty cool. You're very cool, Miles.
Right?
You don't belong here.
He whispered seductively into the ear.
I don't know how you took that, but
You don't belong here.
I feel like that's not very seductive to tell somebody.
It's not, but I mean, delivery.
The decision to let him go.
To the wrong planet.
He went to the planet the spider's from.
It's true.
So it was the correct planet if it zeroes in on your spider sense.
It's true.
Did you bring our baby to another fight?
To another one?
Yeah. It was her first chase, but not her first fight.
Whoa. At least the mom's supportive.
Of having the baby in a fight?
I mean, she's not mad.
Well, like there's so much difference in tone as the conversation goes on, where they're like on each other's side, they're against each other, and the colors just like follow through with all that. But it's still like an artistic choice because it's not like these colors mean anything necessarily.
It helps tell the story a bit better, though.
But it evokes the feeling that you want. And it's cool and I appreciate it. I like that he drew a picture of himself.
Oh, he's so funny.
There we go. Oh, I thought she was maybe going to repurpose that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
She's got the Hobie edition.
Right.
Security switches out at 6. That's the window, right?
There's just a bit more green in this universe to make you think there's something different, even when he first gets there.
Yeah, the use of green and black.
And purple.
Yeah.
We got a whole new kid who just wants to grow up so fast.
They tend to do that.
I mean, once you reach a certain point, it really accelerates, though.
It does. It does.
Tell him 5 months.
We're up in the ante here.
But more importantly, 5 months.
Well, you gotta find him first before you can tell him that. We're in that 3D color world now.
Right?
Put on your 3D glasses.
Should I have some of those somewhere?
Remember that this guy's still kicking around?
You almost forget about him because it's been like 40 minutes since he's done anything.
We've gone through a lot of other stuff.
Well, they're trying to set it up for the last one, right?
I'm here to assemble a team.
Called the Spider Avengers.
Spider Initiative. Your baby girl is one of the ones I want to recruit.
Not you, the girl.
Bring the girl. What if we brought back all of our friends?
Spider Pig! Yes!
She goes in. To be continued.
To be continued.
So when you first watched this, did you know it was a part 1? Or did you just think it was a sequel?
I thought it was a sequel.
Okay. Because I knew going into it, it was originally called part 1, part 2. So I knew it was going to like stop at a certain point. But from what I've heard, a lot of people didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I actually, I'll admit, when I first watched this, I had a hard time watching it. For me, it felt very long and dragged out. And then it started like it reached the halfway, it started turning into a lot of setup, and then it just ended. I'm like,
and I think that does like change the way you're watching it because like I said, when I watched it, I knew it wasn't all going to be wrapped up. They had more time in this movie to slow down certain parts because they knew they were getting a second half. So you don't really get a lot of those scenes of like, especially Miles talking with his mom and Gwen talking with her dad. Like that doesn't exist if this movie was the entire story and not a part 2. You know what I mean? So having those kind of conversational moments might be why the movie feels longer, but it also gives you more information that otherwise you would have just like breezed right past.
I'm interested to see, like I said, like how they're gonna wrap it up because where that leaves off here, it really feels like all that's left is, you know, he's got to get back to his world. He's gonna try to save his dad, and then you have all the other Spider-Mans trying to come to his aid and get him out of Earth 42. So he's gonna have to go up against himself as the Prowler. So it feels like that's kind of the layout of the next film.
But it is curious too because we don't really know what Miles as the Prowler's intentions are yet. Like is he trying to be on the same side as Miles? Is he trying to get the spider venom like transferred to him? Like, I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, what's his MO?
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to picture him being like a complete bad guy necessarily. He might have some like moral ambiguity with him. Plus you have Spot, who's combusting right now. Who knows what he's up to.
So I think Spot has just arrived there like the day or day and a half before like his dad's supposed to die.
I think a big thing with this movie is obviously parents and how they respond to their child. One, just having children, but two, them growing up, and how the child responds to that pressure, or how they want to break off and do their own thing, but also like Miles recognize how important his family is to him. It pulls on a lot of those parts of a relationship that can be hard to navigate, especially around that age. Again, I think overall, this movie is great. It really upped the ante and what it was going for, and I think the art is incredible. Like the actual animation alone, but I mean, there's no denying like how incredible this film is in terms of like even just production of it alone.
Yes. No, I agree. I think it's very well done. I don't know how they managed it, but they pulled it off, and so it does make me excited to see what they're going to do for the third one. If they're going to top it, or if they're just going to kind of ride that wave of what they've established.
Yeah.
But it just shows you how far technology and creativity has come.
I commend the artists that work on this film, and I think they deserve as much time as they need, and they should be paid accordingly.
Yes.
For the third movie.
Do not rush it.
Yeah, make it well done, but also recognize the people that are making it.
Yes. As much as we want the next one, we are okay waiting. They have to be compensated because they're doing amazing work.
If you enjoy movies and if you enjoy works of art like this, you have to thank the people that are actually making it. So
yes.
But Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, let us know if you've seen this movie, if you've seen the first one. What are your feelings and thoughts on them in general? And then are you excited for the potentially last movie?
Potentially. Did anyone else have an existential crisis like multiple times throughout this film? Because I feel like we did.
Yeah. We were asking some questions that I didn't think were going to come up tonight.
I think I'm going to need to sit in a room alone for a while and contemplate my entire life choices now.
Thank you so much for watching with us.
It's been a blast and a half.
Had a really good time.
As always.
You could like this video.
Or subscribe, even better.
If you want to see something for us to watch in the future, like a movie or a TV show, please let us know in the comments.
And we'll get on that right away for you.
Yeah.
Woohoo!